The gun in your safe right now might have a recall you never heard about. Manufacturers issue recalls. They send notices. But millions of firearms never get returned. Today I'm going to show you 10 guns with documented recall histories that are still in circulation, and what that means for your safety and your money. If you own any of these, stay until the end. Because number 1 has a recall history that spans 70 years and involves documents the manufacturer tried to destroy. Number 10. The Taurus PT-111 Millennium G2, one of the best-selling budget pistols in America, millions sold. In 2016, Taurus settled a class action lawsuit covering multiple Millennium series pistols, including the PT-111. The documented problem: the pistol could fire without the trigger being pulled under certain conditions. Drop fire, holster fire, safety disengaged fire. The settlement required a recall and inspection program. But here's what most people don't realize. The recall completion rate was not 100%. Millions of PT-111s were sold before and after the settlement. Not all were returned. Not all were inspected. If you own a PT-111 and cannot document recall service completion, you own a pistol with an unresolved safety history. Check Taurus's recall database before you carry it. Number 9. The Remington Model 700 XMP Trigger, the most famous bolt-action rifle in America. In 2014, Remington issued a voluntary recall of over 1.3 million Model 700 and Model 7 rifles, with the X Mark Pro trigger manufactured between May 2006 and April 2014. The problem: excess bonding agent in the assembly could cause the trigger to fire without being touched. In internal tests conducted in extreme cold, 4 out of 10 rifles fired on their own, documented on video, confirmed by the company. Remington went bankrupt in 2020. If you own a Model 700 with an XMP trigger and cannot document recall service, you own a rifle with an unresolved trigger issue and no manufacturer to call. Number 8. The Winchester SXP Shotgun, Winchester's modern pump shotgun. In 2016, Winchester issued a safety recall of SXP shotguns. The problem: under certain conditions, the inertia-assisted action could allow the shotgun to discharge when the safety was released without the trigger being pulled. The warning was direct: stop using it immediately. Winchester offered a free repair, but not every SXP was returned. If you purchase a used SXP without documented recall repair, you have no way to verify if the fix was ever performed. Ask for documentation before you buy. Number 7. The Savage Axis II, pre-2018 models, over 800,000 in circulation. In 2021, a Navy veteran was hunting in Florida when her Axis II discharged with the safety engaged. She lost her leg below the knee. The lawsuit revealed Savage had internal documents showing awareness of the Tang safety defect as early as 2013. 5 years before the fix in 2018. The technical problem: the safety has an intermediate position that gives a tactile sensation of being engaged, but does not fully block the firing mechanism. If you own a pre-2018 Savage Axis II, verify your safety mechanism. The fix was implemented in 2018. Earlier models may not have received the updated component. Number 6. The Ruger SR9 and SR9C. In 2010, Ruger issued a voluntary recall of approximately 570,000 SR9 and SR9C pistols. The problem: under certain conditions, a dropped pistol could discharge. Ruger covered the repair cost, but thousands of SR9s were never returned for service. The SR9 remained in production for years after the recall, and used market examples mix repaired and unrepaired units freely. Without documented recall service, there is no safe way to verify if the pistol you're holding has the corrected components. Check the Ruger recall database with your serial number before you trust this pistol. Number 5. The Remington 870 Express, post-2005 production. Not a formal recall. Something worse: a systematic, documented quality decline that Remington knew about and continued. Starting around 2005, independent testing and owner documentation showed rough chambers requiring polishing, MIM-cast parts replacing machined steel, extractors failing prematurely, and finishes rusting within months. These are not isolated incidents. They are documented across thousands of reports. Remington went bankrupt in 2020. If you own a post-2005 870 Express, have a qualified gunsmith inspect the extractor and chamber before you rely on it. Number 4. The Kel-Tec Sub-2000, a popular pistol-caliber carbine. No formal recall, but a documented pattern of reliability issues across production batches that Kel-Tec has acknowledged through multiple running production changes. Feed failures, extractor failures, and recoil spring issues have been documented across owner communities extensively. The problem with running production changes instead of a formal recall is that owners of earlier production units have no official notification that their unit may have a corrected version available. If you own a first or second generation Sub-2000, contact Kel-Tec directly about current production specifications and whether your unit has the updated components. Number 3. The Remington R51. In 2014, Remington relaunched the R51 to enormous excitement. Within months, production examples were failing in ways the pre-production samples never did. Failures to feed, failures to extract, and slide issues requiring tools to clear. Remington issued a full recall in 2014, every R51 ever sold. They promised a replacement program. Remington went bankrupt in 2020 before fully resolving the recall. If you own an R51 and participated in the recall, you may or may not have received your replacement. If you own one that was never returned, you own a recalled firearm with no manufacturer support and no path to resolution. Number 2. The Remington Model 700. Walker Trigger. All Model 700s manufactured before 2006. Not the XMP recall. The original Walker Trigger design. Internal Remington documents from 1947 describe the situation as very dangerous. Documents from 1975 reference safety failures. In 1994, Remington evaluated a mass recall and decided it would cost too much. The inventor of the mechanism testified under oath that he proposed a safer design in 1948. It was rejected because it would have increased the cost by approximately 6 cents per unit. More than 150 lawsuits followed over the decades. Children killed on family hunting trips, adults injured without touching the trigger. Remington systematically blamed the users. No active recall was ever issued for the Walker Trigger. Remington is now bankrupt. If you own a pre-2006 Model 700, have the trigger mechanism inspected by a qualified gunsmith. Aftermarket trigger replacements are available and strongly recommended. Number 1. The Beretta CX4 Storm, and the broader lesson about recall compliance. This is not about a specific catastrophic failure. This is about the system itself. Beretta issued a recall on certain CX4 Storm carbines for a bolt issue. The recall was handled professionally and efficiently. Beretta provided clear instructions, prepaid shipping, and timely repairs. Owners who participated are fine. But the recall compliance rate, as with every recall on this list, was not 100%, and this is the real lesson from all 10 firearms on this list. Manufacturers issue recalls. Some are urgent, some are catastrophic. But the recall only protects you if you know about it and act on it. Before you carry, hunt with, or rely on any firearm for home defense, check the manufacturer's recall database. Check the ATF recall database. Verify your serial number. It takes 5 minutes, and it could be the most important 5 minutes you spend with that firearm. That is number 1. Not because the CX4 Storm is the most dangerous firearm on this list, but because recall compliance is the difference between a manageable risk and an unknown one. Do you own any of these 10 firearms? Drop your serial number range in the comments, and I'll point you to the right recall database. And if this video helped you, subscribe to The Gun Audit. No hype, no marketing. Your wallet deserves the truth.